Well, howdy there, Internet students. It's Mr. Hermanson again. We're going to do part two of this lesson on exponents, 4.1. Hey, so this is actually page 4, so if you can find that page, that'd be awesome. You've been learning how to deal with negative exponents with real numbers, but we're an algebra class, so a lot of times we have to deal with um, letters, variables. So I'm going to show you how to do a few problems like that, and then you're going to practice a few problems. So I'm going to go through these 6 problems at the bottom of this page with you, show you how to do it, and then you can go ahead and do some of those yourself. Um, Now I want you to think about the the problems that we were doing. Like if we did 2/3 to the negative second power, what you would do is flip the fraction and then do that to a positive power because those numbers are reciprocals of each other. Um, so that would actually equal 3 to the second on top and 4 to the second on bottom. Also, if you had something like this, let's say you had 5 to the negative third power. So let's think of 5 as 5 over 1 for a second to the negative third power. That would be exactly the same as 1 over 5 to the positive third power, which is equal to 1 over 125. So that's kind of what we were looking at yesterday. And we're going to use that idea when we do variables. Now, first of all, you have to remember that when you're doing things with exponents, it comes before multiplication. So you have to think of this 3 times separately and deal with the x to the negative third power first. Okay? So now I'm going to think of this x as x over 1, so it's kind of like a fraction. And in order to get a positive exponent, what I'm going to do is just flip the power. So 1 over x to the third power. Okay, and then I still have this 3 here. Let's make that a fraction also so that we can multiply it. So on top, this 3 is going to tell me that I need to do 1 times 1 times 1, which is 1. And on the bottom, I need to do x times x times x, which will be just x to the third. And so the answer is 3 over x to the third. So the place I got the 3 is I did 3 times 1 in the numerator. And on the bottom, I did 1 times x to the third, which is just x to the third. So I'll try one more of those with you. So this 5 times, we have to separate that out because we need to do the power first in the order of operation. And notice I just changed that into a fraction because I know that my n to the negative third is going to make a fraction. Okay, so n to the so to think of n to the negative third as a fraction, I'll just put n over 1 to the negative third. And then that is going to flip. And when it flips, when we do the reciprocal, it becomes a positive power. So that's how you get rid of the negative power. You just flip the fraction and it becomes a positive power. And so this equals 5 times 1 times 1 times 1 on top, which is 5. And on the bottom, we have 1 times n times n times n, which is n to the third. Why don't you go ahead and try number 7, see if you get it right. You should have got 4 over r to the third. Now, eventually what some students notice is that we knew that the negative power was going to make it a fraction, right? So it's 1 over. And then once we switch from the numerator to the denominator, then it becomes the positive power. And x to the first is just x. Anything to the first power is just that number. So that's another way you could think about it. But probably what you need to do for now is think about flipping that. So I'm going to flip it and make it 1 over x, and then when I flip that, it becomes the positive power. And then on top I'll have 1 to the first, which is 1, and on the bottom I'll have x to the first, which is x. Why don't you try these the next power, see the next two problems, see if you get them right. So here's my work on those. Hopefully yours looks a lot like that. Again, remember we talked about how negative powers are just, they're just going to turn into fractions because negative power is division. And this is really showing that I'm dividing 5 by a 4 times. And that's also what this is showing. Because I have 8 in the negative fourth, which means 1 divided by a 4 times, and then I'm multiplying that by 5. So I'm going to take you to your next homework page, and we're going to do all those other problems on Monday. But on this page here, page 9, you're going to actually do these problems here. Okay, and put those on the Google form. Good luck with that. We'll talk to you soon.